I'm at a beautiful beach for veterans. And although I brought this along today, I'm not going to use it for this very special reading of The Hoax of 69. So I will be returning here often. Megaphone Rem with the message on the side of my SUV conversion van, Peter the Pilot, to share information because these people know the truth about hiding first contact. They also know the truth about causing poverty and sickness around the world by keeping the secret. They can free us today. The Hoax of 69. Page 1. Ever been fooled before and the last to be told? Page 2. When a lie is told once, in order for it to be believed, more lies need to be told to support it. Page 3. It's possible to get entirely lost in a made-up story and not realize it's wrong for a very long time if people you trust aren't honest. Page 4. How about a half-century lie that many today still believe is the truth? Page 5. What would you do in either situation? Telling the lie or believing it? For veterans, they've got both problems, telling it and believing it, because of the media. Page 6. If the truth were to come out, would you be relieved, angry, disappointed? Page 7. Would you realize the truth if it was shared? Or would you stay stuck in old thinking? Page 8. Our identity and self-image is based off of what we believe. And some of us grasp onto ideas too firmly, like Santa Claus when we were all younger. Page 9. Growing up is accepting the truth, even when it hurts a lot. Page 10. Denial or avoiding facts keeps all those involved stuck in time, frozen. This is what happened in 1969. Page 11. Here are some science facts. There are 8. Our magnetosphere is supercharged with molecule-breaking waves that NASA last decade said was the deepest challenge to deep space travel. 2. Rockets require oxygen to burn, like a candle and a flame. No oxygen, no fire. You can place a glass on top of a candle and watch it go out. There's no oxygen in space. It's a trapped gas inside of our atmosphere. Fact 3. The rover kicks up moon dust. Yet, if you look at the video, it falls at the same speed as it would on Earth. And there's supposedly 30% the gravity on the moon as there is on Earth. So it would take at least twice as long for it to fall back to the surface. Fact 4. The temperature of space is more than minus 200 degrees. Rubber turns to glass at minus 58. Fact 5. Where is the gas tank? In order to get off the moon and travel all the way back here on the Apollo capsules. Fact 6. Sorry, fact 7. If you look at all the images of the capsules, there's a window on every single one. And wouldn't that let dangerous cosmic waves into the cabin and kill the occupants instantly? And the last one, my little pinky. If they could see to get down the ladder, tell us how beautiful the moon looks, and hit golf balls. It means dangerous cosmic waves hit their eyes. And you know what that means? A miracle of them not disintegrating happened. Along with their hair, ears, nose, mouth, teeth, jawbone, and brain. Scary part done. Page 12. How smart do you think you are? List 3 people who are smarter than you on a sheet of paper, and 3 people who are less smart than you. Page 13. Why did you just place limits on what you know and assume what other people know or don't know? Page 14. Just because you're not at a desk in a classroom and have a degree or a position does not mean that you know it all. A degree or a position is a mark of achievement. It's never a finish line, and it doesn't mean that what you say has any sort of truth to it. Page 15. Anybody, regardless of educational level, can be the smartest person in a room. But people do a few things wrong. There are 5. Number 1. Most people don't listen in a conversation, and you can catch them by asking them to repeat what you just said. Fact 2. Most people decide ahead of time what they think. Fact 3. The reason people do this is because of repetition, and we can blame that on the media. Fact 4. What your friends think can affect what you believe. Isn't that why, in a group of friends, you discount somebody and kind of not invite them to your barbecues or cocktail parties or into your country clubs? Yes. And fact 5. Most people hold on to what they thought before. And that means that they don't learn anything new and they can't absorb new information, and have a different perspective. Page 16. We are all creatures of habit. And we do things that are the same a lot. Because it's our human nature. Here are 5 examples. What do you order on your pizza? What neighborhoods are you in? Which friends do you hang out with? How do you get to work every day? And do you have a favorite color? Those are all examples of repetition in your life. Page 17. We are all unique and made the way that we are only one time in forever. Nobody ever had your DNA before, and nobody ever will. But, if the government gets involved and enough of our DNA gets broken, then they'll go ahead and have Barbie and Ken DNA that the rich can buy, while the poor drool and are retarded. Page 18. Living in autopilot in the 21st century is acceptable and expected. And life can become so easy, especially in America, that years and decades can pass in the blink of an eye. Page 19. The best way to get the most out of the one time that you're here is to do a few things. There are 5. Be spontaneous. Take a chance. Follow your gut or intuition. Appreciate the present, no matter how difficult or challenging it is at that time. And, number 5, every single person that you encounter in life can either teach you something or you can teach them something. In other words, if you walk through life like this, thinking you know it all, why don't you share it? What makes you be so arrogant and keeping secrets? Page 20. Post-COVID, people can feel very awkward meeting for the first time, but remember, you have something to share. Find out what it is. Page 21. Ironically, the first thing that comes to your mind is the thing that you're supposed to share. How many times in a conversation do you or the person you're speaking with say, I was going to tell you that, but we got talking about something else? The reason that occurrence happens so often is because we don't like to listen. We like to tell other people things, which blocks effective communication. Page 22. The more times you initiate a conversation, the easier it is to communicate with other people. Page 23. Out of 29, we're almost done. For all the press releases that our government gives to the media to tell us facts, we should all be on the same page. But we're not. Why do you think that is? Something in our gut and our intuition is telling us it's not correct. That's why. And those people get drowned out by a majority belief, and that's created by our media. I am dumb. Come on, sing along. We all know the tune. Page 24. On a sheet of paper, list 3 enemies you have, and 3 people who have made you an enemy, and list the reason why next to each. Page 25. Now, look at those reasons and ask yourself this question. Is this really worth the disagreement or argument? Page 26. It seems as human beings that we make a big deal out of things that are really small. 27, page 27. Landing on the moon was a really big deal. But do you believe? Page 28. Our homes, the moon. That's why the hoax was told. Because there's something there. And Earth are only 239,000 miles apart. Have you ever known a neighbor that you never met? And page 29. Far too often, we rely on what others say, and we can't always tag along to learn fact from fiction. The end. And then, Megaphone Rem will leave the area so that people can ponder the truth while they sit on a beautiful beach. I love our Earth. I love people. I love Mother Nature. I can't stand liars. And I will never, ever stop being honest and telling you the truth until the day I die. I'm a teacher. And you're gonna learn something from me. Happy Veterans Day. I'll be back.